You know that your team sucks and mine is great. It's time for AFFL hate. Gonna make them pissed, gonna make them mad. I'm gonna do them dirty. Welcome to the AFFL, where 75% of the teams are 1-2. That doesn't say a lot about the quality of our teams or our owners, but it does mean that everybody still has a chance. Let's get right to the games. The picks were 3-3 this week, 9-9 on the season so far. Mired in mediocrity, when I strive for excellence, I gotta do better. It's always runny in Philadelphia, 75. ISIS, 68.9. Thought maybe Alshon Jeffrey would get a touchdown last night. Didn't happen. I didn't get that junky touchdown that Steven Jackson got, or that junky touchdown that Vincent Jackson got, or that junky touchdown that Greg Olsen got. In fact, I got no touchdowns, except for one for Kaepernick. I fall to 1-2 on the season, and if you'll allow me to indulge myself with a quick brunch of sour grapes and wine, I'm not worried about my team just yet. I want to point out a couple of things. One, Runny is 3-0 and leading this division with the second fewest points in the league. There might be a little luck on their side. I'm 1-2 with the third most points against. And if you think that a team with Eddie Lacy, AJ Green, Alshon Jeffrey, Calvin Johnson, Randall Cobb are going to have many more weeks with no touchdowns whatsoever, I think you might be incorrect on that. In fact, some poor soul is going to be on the train tracks when my team explodes for like 135 one week. And you know what? I hope it's you. The head-to-head schedule thing, I don't like it. I'm going to make what I think is going to become an annual plea for me. There's too much luck involved. There's too much timing involved. It's not a true test of which the best teams are. It's more of a test of which the most fortunate teams are. I would like to see us go to the league-wide schedule. Every team playing every other team every week. Then we'll have a true test of who's the best. Then we'll see who's the smartest. And you can actually kind of see this now. If you click standings and then click breakdown, it'll show you what every team has done every week against every other team. For example, right now, Lothbrock would be 29-4 and running away with the league. And that makes sense. They've had 2 good weeks. They're off to a strong start. That Kangaroo Stole My Ball would be 25-8. Also, 2 good weeks, off to a strong start. ISIS would be 18-15, which is not too bad, but in the top quartile of the league. It's always running in Philadelphia, which is currently 3-0 and leading the division, would be 12-21, scraping the bottom of the barrel. So, what's happening right now is the luck is not going my way. Fantasy football is like poker, and a woman is like a beer. You see, the last 2 weeks I've had pocket kings, I've had AK suited, I've gone all in, and the board didn't go my way, okay? I lost this week with my AK suited to Brian Barker's 7-5 offsuit when a 7 and a 5 hit the board. It's not a big deal. Eventually, things are going to turn around, things are going to start going my way, and every team is going to have its fits and spurts. I'd rather be bad now and good in December. I ain't sweating it. I will say this, though. This is probably the lowest point of the ISIS season. Eddie Lacy's been really bad to start, going up against 3 top run defenses, to be sure. Where are the vultures who are trying to pick the carcass of the ISIS apart? Where are the trade offers? Where are the guys trying to buy low? Where are the visionaries who are looking ahead for opportunities as opposed to buying the existing stats? You guys, you don't think these things through. Kind of disappointed that nobody's trying to even come at me with an offer. Lothbrock, 99.9. Ass Tanner, 58.6. One thing that I am sweating right now is my prediction of Gary's team this year. He has come flying out of the gate to start. Andrew Luck, 29.8 points. Jeremy Hill, the rookie, he got in the end zone, so he had 9.9. Cordero Patterson, little bit of trouble without Peterson. Maybe Bridgewater will help because Castle is so bad, but it doesn't matter. He still gets 6 points. They're giving him the ball so much that it's going to happen. And Pete Garçon, 19.8. Gary can thank me for that one. I mentioned in the Friday preview that I would bench Donald Brown against a good Bills team, potentially put in Pete Garçon against a bad Eagles secondary. And look at that. Lo and behold, Garcon goes off. See, I do know a few things. Gerhardt, 6.3 points. Bishop Sankey, 7 points. Both on the bench, fortunately. Julian Edelman also on the bench, but another 8.9 points. Somehow Edelman has had 9 or 10 points every game when the Patriots and Tom Brady have been really bad. Pretty interesting to see. As for the Ass Tanner, this is one prediction I did get right. This team is awful. Although Russell Wilson did have 20 points, Harvin has not been as good as he was in week 1. Only 4 points. Darren Sproles, I said it in the preview. What happens with Darren Sproles is he scores 25 points, then he scores 5. That's the way it works. He actually got 4 this week. Colston, only 8.5, but that's better than the 0 he put up last week. And Chris Johnson, who is bad, who should not be a franchise player anymore, 3.4 points. Interestingly, Chris has the better Jets back on his bench. Chris Ivory, 9.6 points. Wouldn't have been enough to win, mind you, but better than Chris Johnson. And Victor Cruz, 16.7 points on the bench. He finally had his first good game of the season. Nobody saw it coming, but Chris can rest easy knowing that it wouldn't have mattered because Cousin Gary rolled right over him. That kangaroo stole my ball. 105. Riggins Riggs, 57.6. Let's talk about Riggins Riggs for a second. Another team that I thought was going to do really well this year and is really struggling out of the gate, 1 and 2. You think I have a complaint because I have the 3rd most points against this season. Riggins Riggs has the most points against by far. But it's not going to matter when you're only putting up 57.6. Andy Dalton caught a touchdown pass. Thank goodness, because that put him into double digits. Only 11.7 there. Forte got going a little bit against that good Jets defense, but nothing going on there. Jordy Nelson, what happened in that Green Bay-Detroit game? Just bad times all around. It certainly affected me. And I did mention that because everybody thought that was going to be a blowout of a game, that it'll probably be a dog. God, just a killer. What is going on in Green Bay? Steve Smith, another good game. 10 points. Dez left wide open by the Rams on a blown coverage. Just walked into the end zone. 15 points there. Texans defense, -3 against the Giants when the Giants have looked so bad. That's no good. And Nate Freese, he got 5 points, but he missed another field goal. He was cut. He's out. Time for another kicker for Riggins Riggs. Interesting factoid about the Riggins Riggs. Both of their defenses, the Texans and the Panthers, -3 points this week. Now, Brian Williams is back. That famous Bry Luck that's going to destroy us all is back. Rashad Jennings, 176 yards and a touchdown, 23.6 points. If you can tell me you saw Rashad Jennings having a good game against the Houstons, I will come over to your house and I will shake your hand and I will say good job. And that's not even where it ended with the Bry Luck. He put Zach Stacy back in, 12 points. Antonio Brown, 21 points in an explosion of Steeler points. Brandon Marshall got hurt, goes out with only 0.6 points. It doesn't even matter. All that means that Bry didn't double up Riggins Riggs. It makes no difference that Bry left Fred Jackson 17 points on the bench. Crabtree's 14 points on the bench. Nix is 11 points on the bench. None of it matters. Bry is being Bry right now. You want to know how good things are for Bry? He puts in Nick Foles over Cam. When Cam had an A-plus matchup against the Steelers, turns out Steelers decided to have a good game. Foles has twice as many points as Cam. Bry can do no wrong, and he's not even in the same division as Scott Myers this year. Nothing is holding back Bry. Here he goes. Timmy doesn't have any friends. 90. Little baby Jesus, 57.4. Timmy doesn't have any friends. Is finally on the board with a win. Congratulations to Scott. Real quick, let's play everybody's favorite game. Would this result have been the same without the Drew Brees trade? And the answer is, once again, yes. Scott would have won this game with or without Drew Brees. I don't want to talk about much more. I don't want to be accused of being obsessed with one particular owner over any other, which is kind of an ironically rich charge coming from a guy who's actually named his team after another owner. But I guess I'm the one with the problem. Look, I'm not obsessed with Scott. What I'm obsessed with is foolhardiness, with bad moves, with a total lack of logic. Sometimes Tim pops up make some bad moves that don't make any sense. And I talk about Tim a little bit. That happened a lot this year. But this year, it's been all Scott all the time with the bad moves. There's nothing I can do about it. I gotta talk about it. I'm dying for somebody else to do something stupid. It hasn't happened yet. Nobody else has done something like trade away a top 5 fantasy quarterback for Torrey Smith, who now has like 6 points on the entire year. Nobody else has given away their entire draft for a quarterback who's made literally no difference to their record. Steelers defense, 13 points, a defensive touchdown, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 sacks. Where has this been for the past 3 years? New 3-year contract recipient Kendall Wright, 4.4 points. Jake Locker has been terrible in these first 3 games. He's now hurt. We could be looking at either Charlie Whitehurst or the rookie Zach Mettenberg. That's not going to help Kendall Wright's output too much. Pete Thomas got in the end zone. Marshawn Lynch, credit where credit is due. The Marshawn Lynch for Alfred Morris trade has been great for Scott. Lynch is just getting in the end zone over and over and over. 25 points there. And Drew Brees, this was supposed to be a plus matchup at home in the Dome. Maybe the Minnesota defense is a little better than anybody's giving it credit for. I know the Pats put up 30 last week, but most of that came from Matt Castle turning the ball over and giving the Patriots short field. Minnesota defense certainly gave Brees some problems. He only had 2 touchdowns, 17.7 points. But when you're playing little baby Jesus, what does it matter? This is a bad team. I don't know what else you want me to say. I thought Keenan Allen was going to have a great game. I thought Keenan Allen was going to be the difference here. I was just a little bit off, 1.7 points for Keenan Allen. Aaron Rodgers, 9.4 points, and looked bad. Pressured by that Lions front 4 all day. Only 160 yards and a touchdown for Rodgers. That's not going to get it done. Ellington looked good, but not good enough. Bobby Rainey, forget about it. Gronk got in the end zone, but he's only playing about half the snaps for the Patriots. Reggie Bush on the bench with 16 points, got more looks than Bell. Reggie Bush, by far, the best fantasy producer out of the Lions-Packers non-shootout, but doesn't even matter. Little baby Jesus has some severe issues right now, and my prediction of them winning the division is looking pretty bad. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, 93.2. Gak, 76.4. Scott and Timmy winning in the same week. What is going on in this world? Peyton Manning looked bad in the first half. An amazing comeback in the second half, 17 points. Monty Ball, only 3 points. Guys, I've been saying this for a few weeks now. Monty Ball is bad, and I don't think he's going to be the starter in Denver by the end of the year. Niall Davis, spot start in place for Charles. Timmy scooped him up and got 18 points. That's what I would call a good move by Tim. Kudos to him. Michael Floyd, 11.4 points, all on yardage. Drew Stanton going deep over and over to Michael Floyd. Looked really nice. Kelvin Benjamin, 115 yards and a touchdown, 17.5 points. Kelvin Benjamin is good. For a rookie, he is legit. How did Timmy end up with such a good player? Oh, it was an auto draft. Okay. Well, hey, take it where you can get it. And the Lions defense, 15 points against the Packers. Packers expected to go into the Dome, shoot off some fireworks, but no. Lions defense with a fumble recovery, a safety, a defensive touchdown. They were rolling 15 points there. Timmy wins so convincingly, it didn't even matter that he left Deshaun Jackson 17.7 points on the bench. The problem there for Timmy is that Deshaun Jackson was maybe going to be out all week. Then he was a late active on Sunday. And while most owners would have scrambled to get Deshaun Jackson into the lineup against the Eagles after Jackson basically vowed to have an amazing game in Philadelphia, and he did, Timmy is the type of person that has other things to do on Sundays from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. And whatever those things are, they don't involve making fantasy football changes to his lineup, and that is fine. This is the life he's living, and I respect it. I don't know what he was doing. I don't care what he was doing. He was doing the Tim things, and that's all it's all about. As for Hagak, glad they lost this one. It keeps me alive in the division with my disappointing 1-2 record. DeMarco Murray, another great game. 18.1 points. He was the number 2 overall pick this year, and he is currently blowing number 1 overall pick, Matt Forte, out of the water. Ridley, 6 points. Tates, 5 points. Demaryius Thomas, 5.1 points. Demaryius off to a very bad start this year, and McCamey has indicated that he is disappointed in the play of Demaryius Thomas. So a crafty owner might send an email to Bill and be like, you're tired of Demaryius? Well, what might he cost in a trade? And that crafty owner might be surprised, nay stunned, nay shocked to find out that the current trade price for Demaryius Thomas is a first and second rounder. I mean, that is a Gary level of trade value that you're putting on a guy who's on a 3-3 contract. So you either get him for 13 more games and lose him, or you franchise him. First and a second rounder for Demaryius. Wow, that is asking a lot. Terrence West had 10 points. Good spot start fill-in for Hagak. By the way, I believe I did predict that the Baltimore-Cleveland game would come down to a last-second field goal. I said the final would be 19-17. It was actually 23-21, but that is still a 2-point difference on that last-second game-winning field goal. You see, sometimes I do know things. By the way, speaking of players from that game, Jordan Cameron, franchise player, 2.3 points. Oh, one last note for this game. One more thing for Hagak to think about. Arian Foster missed this game with a hamstring issue. Same hamstring issue that's been bothering him since the preseason. Sounds like it's not getting any better. I mean, sure, you have Al Blue on your lineup, and if you want to ride Al Blue with Fitzpatrick at the controls, be my guest. I just know Lamar Miller is out there available for a trade. So Whitechapel Rippers 93.5, Animal House 84.3. Folks, here is the difference between a winning week and a losing week. Gio Bernard for Whitechapel, only 47 rushing yards, only 7 receiving yards. Kind of a disappointing game, right? No, because he got in the end zone 2 times, 17.4 points for Gio. And on the one play, Bengals had it on the 1-yard line. They put in nose tackle D'Amato Pecco as the lead fullback, put Bernard behind him. I'm not even sure you could see Gio behind Pecco. It's kind of like a peewee football play where you literally hide the running back behind one of the big kids. That worked. How good are things for Whitechapel right now? They're 3-0, so that's good. But they only got 4 points out of Matt Stafford. The bad Matt Stafford came out this week with a couple of terrible interceptions. They only got 3.7 points out of Shane Vereen. And in all of this, mattered not. 17 from Gio, which we talked about. 28 from Julio, which we all watched Thursday night. 14.9 from Emmanuel Sanders against that tough Seattle defense. The Rams, who blew a 21-0 lead and lost 34-31. They had 10 points because they had a defensive touchdown still. The Rams outscored that vaunted Seahawks defense 10-8. So Animal House drops to 1-2 on the season. They are spiraling. It was a close one they lost here. They had a chance here. But the one thing is they don't have to beat themselves up about their roster decisions because all their best guys were in the starting lineup. Their bench scored 0.9 points total. Jerick McKinnon had 9 receiving yards and -1 rushing yard. And that's where the bench points come from. You must be wondering, how does a team only score less than 1 bench point? Well, look at their bench. Dree Archer, hurt. Jamal Charles, hurt. Ben Tate, hurt. Ryan Matthews, hurt. Roddy White, hurt. This is a banged-up team right here. This is a team that needs some help, that needs some players. They don't want to be putting Jonathan Grimes in the starting lineup with his 3.6 points every week. I don't think they want to keep Andre Johnson and his 2.4 points in the lineup with Ryan Fitzpatrick having a total meltdown and a rookie QB probably not too far away in Houston. Yeah, Macklin had 21 points. He's been great so far, but he is guaranteed to get hurt and miss a couple of games. This Animal House team, this is a team that should be looking to the ice and saying, Lamar Miller, maybe I could take him. Saying, Lacey is down. He's had a bad start. Maybe I can buy low on Lacey. Where are the offers? Where's the action here? Where's the thoughtfulness? I can't run this whole league. Okay, now, perhaps my reputation precedes myself. I tried to have some trade talks with Larry yesterday, and they basically sputtered out just because he was wondering, why are you asking me about these players? I tried talking trade with Gary the other day, and he flat out said if I'm trying to trade a guy, something's wrong, and if I'm targeting one of his guys, that he probably should keep him. Look, in some ways, I enjoy having this Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street reputation, in that if I come knocking, I'm probably going to rip you off somehow. But look, I'm a good guy. I'm a fair guy. We're all in this together. We're all pals, right? Make me a trade offer. Come at me. I have a deep team. I'm struggling. I could be panicking right now. This could be your chance to take advantage of me. But nobody's even trying. Nobody even has the guts or the smarts to be doing what I would be doing. But you know what? That's what makes me me, bro. So there are your games. Ice is struggling. The picks are struggling. Cats and dogs living together. Mass pandemonium. We'll see you next week.